What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to British 876 Sports, where we discuss and dissect the realest and the most authentic footballing and the sports opinion. So, Arsenal has just finalized their game at St James's Park against Newcastle, winning the game. A late dagger in the game to win that game, people, against Newcastle. Gabriel with a header late in the game from a set piece routine, you can say. The set piece FC at it again. No, we're not gonna hate on them. We're not gonna hate on them. We're not gonna hate on them. We're gonna give them the praise and the credit where the credit is due. Because if your club had scored a late equalizer, you would have been elated, you would have been ecstatic, and nobody couldn't tell you anything. Right? So they played Newcastle at St James's Park. Newcastle United should be disappointed, should be greatly disappointed, not leaving with even a point in the game. Not leaving with not even a point in the game. They should be, if not an ounce, greatly disappointed in that game. I think if the game had ended 1-0 Newcastle, nobody wouldn't have complained and said, yo, Arsenal deserved a win in the game. I think if it ended 1-1 in favor, 1-1, nobody wouldn't have said that, yo, Arsenal should have won the game, or Arsenal deserved more than 1 point, right? It was Newcastle put up a good performance today, Set up, obviously, not to lose against Arsenal, who is a better team, a better structure, a better club. Set up not to lose the game, went ahead. Walter Maida scored, or is it Walter Maida scored, whichever one. He scored early on into the first half, 34 minutes into the game, a header, great header from a Tonali cross. And from there on, Newcastle looked favourable, looked like they will, get the 3 points. You got some chances from Arsenal in the first half. Eze got some great chance. Eze, the keeper kept Eze out on about 2 to 3 occasions, and hence the reason why Arsenal should start Eze in most of their games. Why you not going to start him when you have him, right? Eze showed today that he should be on the left wing position. Why is he out on the left wing position? He showed that today, that he should be out on the left wing position, especially in the first half. I'm sure he showed that his credentials, key on the ball. He barely put a foot wrong today. He faded away in the second half, but for the first half, he barely put a foot wrong, linked up with Saka and Gyökeres. You can see that he's used to a striker like Gyökeres. He was playing him into channels a lot of the times. You can see that he used to play with Mateta and he's used to such big target man up top. So Eze should start. So let me give Arsenal credit for that. They played Eze in the midfield along with Zubimendi and Declan Rice, rightfully so. But as I always say, and this is factual, you don't have to agree with it as an Arsenal fan. You don't have to agree with it. Arsenal is better, as I always say, with a more supporting striker up top. Whether it be Havertz, Merino, or that Gabriel Jesus, who said he's not really a number 9, he's more of a 9.5, like what Xerxes said. That's where Arsenal plays their best football, with somebody like that. Now with Gyökeres up top, he did nothing today, absolutely nothing. Let's get that straight. He did nothing today. And the minute Merino came on the field, it was a header, it was a set piece, he scored. Got them back in the game 1-1. And yeah, imagine Merino, he scored in the 84th minute. So both Arsenal goals scored late in the game. Imagine Arsenal playing with Merino up top, if it was not a striker, or Kai Havertz. They would have dominated the game a lot more. The pressure would have been on all game long. Newcastle would have been pressured back into their 18-yard box defending the game. But that's not the setup they have. right? Now you see them going early into their striker oftentimes. Even Saka see playing him in behind very early, rather than where if it was him and Odegaard on the pitch, you'd have seen them rotating the ball a lot more rather than just going forward. Which going forward doesn't necessarily score them a goal or make them better off. It's not like they have a real top tier striker up top who is clinical and will just do it on his own. That's not the player they have up top, right? So, I mean, they got the 3 points today. Gabriel came up in the additional time, stoppage time, 96 minutes, to score a header. Obviously demoralizing for Newcastle. Obviously, I'm sure it's demoralizing for Liverpool, for who else is up there with them, Man City, Tottenham, whoever else is up there with them, and not even looking up there. I mean, I'm worried about relegation as a United fan. But obviously demoralizing for those clubs who would have been cheering on Newcastle, including myself. I was cheering on Newcastle today. I think they deserved at least a point, which they didn't get, unfortunately. The new striker Walter Maida today was good. He obviously wasn't Alexander Isak level good, but he was very good. They didn't start Ilanga, who I think would have been a threat all game long, was a threat last game, was a threat in the Barcelona game that they lost, unfortunately. 2-1. It was a threat. The coach didn't start him today. I don't know why. Don't know why he started Murphy. Not sure if Murphy was supposed to provide a bit more defensive coverage or drop into midfield more. He did none of the above more than Ilanga would. Um, Pulled him off anyway for Ilanga, predictably. So yeah, those were the two notable differences in this Newcastle's team today. They brought in Thaw into the back line. They played Dan Burn at left back. I mean, did he shut down Saka? He certainly shut down Saka. Timber didn't cause that much problem on the right hand side. It didn't. Calafuri came off as well. You know, he didn't cause much problem on the left hand side for Liverpool. Trossard played on the left wing, but he played Trossard on the left wing rather than Eze. Eze showed today that he shouldn't be playing on the left wing. He's just going to be a threat. In the middle of the park, he's a threat. He's an intelligent number 10, somebody who will get the ball into his wing players or his striker. You know, he's not always just intended to just keep the ball rotating either. You know, he's a threatening player. He knows where the threats are and he will go for it. Whether it's a shot or a pass, he can know that Eze will get it off. I think he should be a bit more clinical. I think Eze can be a bit more clinical to improve his goal tally at the end of the season. You know, today he got about 3 chances. Keeper saved all 3 chances. No, you have to be in the position to get the chance then. But I think if he wants to be undeniable, he must have to convert those chances. You know, Odegaard is on the outskirt waiting to come in. Merino waiting to come in. Remember, Havertz is not even back yet. So if Havertz is back, then some of the starting players should be looking out. I believe as soon as Havertz come back, the coach will be itching to get him back in the starting lineup somehow. And you know you've seen him play Havertz in midfield. So that means he will be tested to play him over Eze. Or you've seen him playing him up top, which means he might be tested to play him over Gyökeres. So, I mean, Trossard, as I said, was always coming into midfield today, so he didn't provide that balance that Martinelli provided. Nonetheless, Arsenal showed versatility today. They showed a variety in their play. They showed that they can score late in the game. They showed that even if they don't play well, they can win. Right? I must say, again, Saka, the match winner, is not necessarily a match winner, but just a beneficiary, a good player benefiting from a very good team structure. Today, a match winner would have just picked the ball up, weaved his way past a player or two, and smashed it in the top corner. Or a free kick, and he just smashed it into the top corner. Right? But I won't argue with the Arsenal fans who believe that Saka is a world beater I think Saka is a very competent team player, very competent team player. He's not a game changer, he's not a match winner, right? Because he didn't win the match today for Arsenal. Oftentimes, when Arsenal needs a match winner, I've never seen Saka stepped up and be that match winner, right? I've seen Martinelli stepped up and be a match winner for Arsenal. Oftentimes, from last season, I've seen their defenders, Gabriel, stepped up in a set piece and be a match winner. Right? I've seen Declan Rice be a match winner, smashing in some odd goals from outside the box. But I won't argue. Yep, so Arsenal got 3 points, moved into second place in the table. You know, Newcastle would have wished they didn't get that 3 points today. So they are a bit closer to Newcastle. They closed the gap on Newcastle. I think there are 3 points behind Newcastle. 2 points behind Newcastle actually. So behind Liverpool. So Liverpool with a better goal difference as well. They both scored 12 goals. Arsenal conceded 3. Liverpool conceded 7. So Arsenal have a better goal difference than Liverpool. Yeah, and this is an Arsenal team with a few players out. So they are not playing any champagne football. They are not playing any tiki-taka. They are not playing any total football, but they are second in the league again. Now, are we surprised? Should we be giving them credit for being second place? They finished second the last 3 seasons. They shouldn't be given any credit. This is just typical of them. They are a good team. They are Arteta's 6th season in, so they are very good, a very good unit. Are they top tier? Do they have the players City have and Liverpool have? No, they don't. That is what you're going to need to win the Premier League. Those top tier next player. I don't think Arsenal have a player like Mamouche because Martinelli, Trossard, Madueke, those players aren't as good. Even Gyökeres, those players aren't as good as Mamouche. They don't have a player as good as Foden, right? Don't tell me Saka is better than Foden. They don't have a player as good as Shirky, who's injured. They don't have a player as good as Haaland. Do they have a player as good as Salah, Mohamed Salah? They don't. Do they have a player as good as, who else is playing for them? Isak? No. Is Gyökeres better than Ekitike? Come on. You watch the player, look out your eyes, forget the stats, and look on the player. Watch them play. Watch them receive the ball, take the ball, pass the ball, and you will tell me that Gyökeres is better than Ekitike. Him is not. Right? Ekitike is smashing it so far, with competition from Isak. So I'm just showing you that they are not as good as those two teams, for example. So it's going to be very difficult, regardless of which one of them is competing for the title. It's going to be very difficult for Arsenal to win the Premier League. Right? But very good win for them nonetheless. Very good win for them. Put them into second place. Sets the title race on the run. I mean, Chelsea lost today. Not today, yesterday Chelsea lost. Man United lost. Shame, it was a shame. I did a video on Man United. You can go on my home page, watch the previous video. Lost to Brentford 3-1. And I think Ruben Amorim and the board should hold a lot of stick. So what's going on? What's going on? Amorim isn't performing. The board brought him in and they're not getting rid of him. So who is to be blamed? Somebody has to be blamed for the failure at Manchester United now. Is it the board? Is it Amorim? Chelsea lost as well. I mean, how Chelsea lose 3-1 to Brighton at home, having lost to Manchester United last week. The onus was on Chelsea to win the game. They got a red card. New hairstyle for Chalobah, and he's gonna spend the next couple of weeks with a straight red on the bench, not on the bench, in the stands, suspended. Got a red card while Chelsea was 1-0 up, and Brighton gonna capitalize. They're gonna monopolize possession, which they did. Welbeck scored twice, and they got 3 points at Stamford Bridge. Very good 3 points that for Brighton. Brighton, very good team. Brighton, you have to really be You have to really. I think Brighton normally performs well against the big teams, and then you see them drop points against some average teams. You wonder if it's a mindset thing. They just step up ready for the big teams, for the better clubs, right? For the big clubs, the Chelseas, the Uniteds. But yeah, Liverpool also lost Ekitike with a late dagger. Not Klopp. What's the name of that coach? He was pissed. The Liverpool's coach, Arne Slot, he was livid. Liverpool's Ekitike, not Ekitike, Enketia with that last minute winner for them. He was livid, I'm telling you. Adam Martin was good in that game. You know, that's a youngster. I think he's 20 years old. Very good youngster. Who Man United are interested in that youngster. Very good. Yep. Liverpool. Ekitike was out, so Salah Isaac started up top. Wirtz vacated the midfield. He started from wing. I mean, again, he didn't score. He didn't assist. You know, the pressure started to build on Florian Wirtz. Pressure started to build on him. He didn't score again. Didn't assist. I mean, they played from a different position. The coach is trying to rotate him. Even in that game, they at one point they made some subs and he was playing as a deep line playmaker alongside the other two Liverpool midfielder, and he wasn't really plugging anything. He wasn't really devastating. He wasn't really piercing. He wasn't really threatening. You know, and we know that's not Florian Wirtz. We know that this guy is a very nippy, agile, balanced player with a very good shot on him, very good pass, intelligent, very good dribbling ability, will score, will assist all game long. We're not seeing that. We're not seeing that. But he hasn't settled as yet. We're kind of eager for players just produce when them come to the Premier League or come to our club that we support. Verse Florian hasn't settled. We need to give them some time to settle. Salah didn't score. Salah hasn't started to his usual smashing best. You know, I personally believe that this coach Arne Slot uh, would do without Salah. I think he wants more of a team cohesive player rather than Salah, who is just an end product player. You know, you just want to get Salah into the game in behind. And yeah, Florian Bradley started at right back. They didn't start Frimpong again. And I've seen him done that a few times, not start Frimpong. Not sure the reasoning behind it, but him started Bradley. Obviously, Bradley is defensively solid. But I thought that he wanted, I don't know what he wanted. He got rid of Trent, who wasn't defensively solid, to get Frimpong, who still isn't defensively solid. So I'm not sure. Not sure if this is a door semi-open for Bradley to state his claim as Liverpool's starting right back. But it is what it is. Liverpool lost to Crystal Palace, who in the past 5 games, I think, has had the better head-to-head against Liverpool. I think they won 3 of the past 5 games. Let me check real quick. Yep, I remember Community Shield game they won. Yes, they won today. They won the last game prior to that on penalty. It was a Community Shield. Prior to that, they drew 1-1. Prior to that, Liverpool won 1-0. Prior to that, Crystal Palace won 1-0. So that's 5 games. Crystal Palace winning 3 of them, 1 on penalty. Liverpool winning 2. Liverpool winning once, 1-0 and 1 drew. So it is 3 wins to Crystal Palace, a draw, and 1 win to Liverpool. Bogey team is Crystal Palace, Liverpool's bogey team. That's possible. So those are some big games in the Premier League. Man City won 5-1 at home to Burnley. Very good result for Man City. Man City sneakingly doing their thing, you know. Man City sneakingly doing their thing, climbing little by little. I don't know why people write off City season upon season. But guess what? I would rather bid on City winning rather than saying, oh, this Arsenal team will win. And this Arsenal team is the favorite. Why would I say that? Right? I always look at who is the favorite based on the players they have. Currently, it is City and Liverpool. Arsenal has a good structure, a coach who is in his year 6, so they are, you know, they have synchronized already and is just playing. Persons are going to say, oh, they got 8 first team player. I keep seeing that. What 8 first team player Arsenal get? Which 8? Let me look on the match today again. Let me just quickly. Which 8 first team player? Because Madueke isn't a first team player. Nescar isn't a first team player. They already have Timber, they already have Gabriel, they already have Calafuri, they already have Rhea. They got Zubi Mende. Okay, he's a first team player. Joshua Yokers is a first team. That's 2. Eze, is he necessarily a first team player? I mean, you could say so. A first team player on the wing. Is he a wing player? But definitely not 8 first team player. But people saying that about 8 first team players. I doubt that. Highly doubt that. So yeah, that's how this results fared this weekend. A game is left to be played tomorrow. I think someone can verify that and let me know. It has been a remarkable weekend. Goals scored all over the league, unlike last week, which lacked goals. We had a lot of goals this season. This weekend, Tottenham drew, so that's another result, a noteworthy result. Spurs fans are here. Tottenham drew the game. People hit that like button on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Welcome if you're new. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when we post another video. Aston Villa also, after winning ways, I watched them earlier today. They won 3-1 at Fulham. Finally, Villa with a score line. Not only a score line, they scored 3 times. 3 times they scored, and I think that is remarkable for Aston Villa. People don't forget to hit that like button, help the algorithm to grow. Comment in the comment section. Also, it helps the algorithm. It is British 876 Sports, and we see you in the next video. We are out.